Hi everybody, I just got back from seeing the movie The Lorax, and I really loved it, and I fell in love with the truffula trees just like Audrey did. And I decided to make one myself. It's soft, got the stripe, and help it grow some soil and a little pot so it can sit on my windowsill. So I'll show you how to make one right now. Here are the materials you are going to need. It doesn't have to necessarily be brown, but it looks more like dirt and soil. So I recommend this, but if you want to make a small scenery, I tried this. You can try and make it in a jar with a sky background, like a truffula tree in a jar. I tried it. It was really hard, so I gave up and made my potted one. So you can use green, and they are kind of expensive, but it is 1.5 pounds. So it should last you to make as many truffula trees as you would like to make. Black and white pipe cleaners. You don't really need a lot, but like if you just have one of these, like one black and one white, it should last you enough for the entire tree, because it doesn't take a lot. And sometimes, if needed, you may need the color of your truffula tree. Pipe cleaners. You're going to need scissors, a small pot, and if you can't have this, maybe you could make something, or like you could have a bottle, like I said earlier. You can basically use anything, even a Chuck E. Cheese coin cup. But I'm going to be using a nice old-fashioned pot because it gives it that growing look. And make sure it does not have a hole in the bottom. If it does, you might want to paint over it like I did. Last and most important thing you are going to need is a pink fuzzy hair clip. It doesn't have to be a hair clip like this. It can be anything fuzzy, like you could get a pink boa or a yellow boa. You can make your truffula tree any color you want, but the pink seems the most common. You can use any color. You can cut a boa and like turn it into a little ball. This has a little hoop and this thing, so it's easy to put together. And like you see in my finished truffula tree, in the back you can see that little hair clip thing. So now that you have everything you need, let's get started. The 2 pipe cleaners that I mentioned earlier, and the scissors. Now, here's what you're going to do with the black pipe cleaner. You're going to want to cut it into small pieces, about like a little bit wider than your white. And you can make as many black things, like these are going to be the stripes. You can make any stripes, well, as many stripes as desired, but if you have too many, it won't look as natural, because they only have like a couple stripes going down and have some white space, so make sure you space them out. And after you got your desired amount of stripes, you can save this for later, and we'll go on with the white. With the white, you can see how long you're going to need it. Now you want to, that's how long you want in the pot, but you can choose to make your tree really high, like here, or really short, like here. But I recommend not going too high or too low. Right here looks good. Okay, so now you have your trunk and your stripes. To put the stripes on, you're going to want to basically just put it on and bend it over. And you might have to cross a little bit. Whoops. but make sure the back is going to look pretty bad. So make sure if you put it on a windowsill or something, you have the right side facing. And you want to repeat the steps several times. If you have those little ends bothering you, you can easily just clip them off. Like that. Or you can just easily bend it over. I like bending it over so you're not getting those little black fuzzies all over the ground. So I would do this instead. It's alright if a couple stripes look a little more wacky than the others, because that gives it really that natural look. Okay, next, you're going to need your hair tie or cut up boa, whatever you had. You don't need scissors for this part. Now, if it is a hair tie, it might be easier. So what you're going to do is stick it up through there, and as far as you can get it until it hits the stripe. And you're going to want to fold over, like that. And if it looks a little crooked, you can always bend it around and have fun with it. Alright, you're almost done with your truffula tree. You should have all that leftover stuff that you had when you made the stripes. What you're going to do is you're going to wrap it around the bottom, sort of like a snail shell that you're making out of clay. If it seems small compared to your tree, you can add extra around it if desired. I think that's what I'm going to do just in case. When you made the base, make sure it is tight together, and if you have something that is great, you just want to fold that up. And if the tree isn't in the center and it's wilting, you can always bend it. And if you think you need a stripe there, you can always move some down or move them around like so. But I think I'm going to leave it this way because I'm just so lazy. Alright, now it's okay if it won't stay up like this because obviously you don't need to worry about that. Now let's move on to the pot over there. You're going to need your pot and your sand. Now make sure you don't put too little of sand or too much, because if you have too little, it'll look like this. You can't see your beautiful stump. But if you add too much, you'll see that ugly base. And if you want, you can just stop here if you don't have the pot and leave it like that, but I recommend doing the pot because it looks a lot more cool. Alright, let's continue. You are going to add, now this could get messy, so be careful. Don't worry about putting too much or too little in, because you can always pour more or pour it back in. If you want, you can add some glitter to make it look sparkly. That looks like a nice amount. Now it is time to plant our truffula tree. This is one of the tricky parts. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to hold both your thumbs up here and slowly work it back and forth while holding the pot. And sometimes it's nice to have a partner to hold it while you use both your hands. So you want to try and cover up the base with your fingers and pat it down. There we go. If you see a part of the pot there, just simply sweep it over. Sweep over the soil. And if you want to make it look like it was gardened, you can put little holes with your fingers in there, really give it that growing look. And if you've seen the movie, I'm not sure if they're in the book, you can even add one of those cute little bears. If that isn't enough for you, 2 little bears. Enjoy your truffula tree. And just a little tip, if you're going to have somebody feel the tufts of your truffula tree, be really careful they don't pull it out of the soil. That isn't good for it. Take real good care of your truffula tree, and if you have a cat, keep it out of reach. Have fun with it. Goodbye.